G'day, how you going? Good? Okay, what we've got is complete 3 sets. So this is just basically some bit of isolating sort of work, a bit of an extended warm-up. So complete 3 sets. You've got 1 minute of a single arm floor press, so with your dumbbell. That goes straight into a minute of a single arm curl, straight into a minute of some bench dips, which we actually covered last week as well. And then you have a minute rest. So basically you've got your 4 minutes from start to finish of each round and you complete 3 sets of it. Now, when you're using a dumbbell for the floor press and the curl, you're going to do 30 seconds all on one side and then you'll swap over 30 seconds on the other side to equal your minute. If you do have a bar and you want to go with an empty bar for your curl, depending what you want to do with your floor press, that's probably a little bit harder to organise. You can just roll with a bar for some of these if you like. It'll just be a minute total on that one movement. So a minute of each one, finishing that round with a minute of rest and completing 3 sets. You should get a pretty solid little pump going on in the arms there as well. Let's have a look at these movements. G'day, how you going? Good? Okay, what we've got is complete 3 sets. So this is just basically some bit of isolating sort of work, a bit of an extended warm-up. So complete 3 sets. You've got 1 minute of a single arm floor press, so with your dumbbell. That goes straight into a minute of a single arm curl, straight into a minute of some bench dips, which we actually covered last week as well. And then you have a minute rest. So basically you've got your 4 minutes from start to finish of each round and you complete 3 sets of it. Now, when you're using a dumbbell for the floor press and the curl, you're going to do 30 seconds all on one side and then you'll swap over 30 seconds on the other side to equal your minute. If you do have a bar and you want to go with an empty bar for your curl, depending what you want to do with your floor press, that's probably a little bit harder to organise. You can just roll with a bar for some of these if you like. It'll just be a minute total on that one movement. So a minute of each one, finishing that round with a minute of rest and completing 3 sets. You should get a pretty solid little pump going on in the arms there as well. Let's have a look at these movements. Okay, we're going to take a look at these movements here. So we've got a single arm floor press. Now, if you do have a bench or something to lay on at home to increase the range, by all means go for it. But we're just going to come down to the elbows just touching the floor and then pressing out to full extension at the top. So Garna's going to do 30 seconds on one side. Once the 30 seconds is up, she's going to change sides, do 30 seconds on the other. Good. All right, not a whole lot to it, pretty sort of simple movement there. Next one, you'll be coming up into a minute of a single arm curl. So with your dumbbell, she just wants to do those dips. So single arm curl, you can hold it however which way you like. Again, it's not the most trickiest movement in the world. It's not going to be the end of your days if you don't quite hold it the right way. Just still trying to get as much extension of the arm at the bottom as well, which we tend to sort of miss a bit of. You're going to do 30 seconds each side of that as well. All right, once we've done that, that'll be the end of your second total minute. You're going to go over to your bench or box, whatever you've got, and doing some bench dips. Good. So the further away from the box her feet are, the harder that's going to be. She's still trying to sit up nice and straight, so trying to eliminate sort of that rolling of the shoulder forward. We try not to lean too far forward either. Beautiful. All right, a minute of those as well, and then into a minute of rest. Once you've had your minute rest, you're going to jump into your second round and your third round. As we said before, you can sub that for a barbell if you've got one. Just depends what you want to use in terms of weight there for you, but I'll leave that up to you. It is quite a long amount of time to be doing that with, so you may want to keep the weight nice and low just so you're not getting too carried away.
Might not be able to hear me because Huey is sending it at the moment. Okay, so part 2 for today is some interval work. So we did this last week, or something similar last week. So following up from last week, I'm going to do some intervals here. So some running intervals. You're going to mark your starting position like we did last week. You're going to start your timer, whether you get your phone, watch, whatever. You're going to walk at just a normal pace for 90 seconds. Last week we did a minute. So this time I'm going to go for 90 seconds, so it's going to be a little bit longer than last week. Once you get to 90 seconds, that's going to be where you start your sprints from every time. So you're going to make a little mark on the ground. Might be a bit of dirt or a bit of grass, or you might just chuck something on the ground. You're going to sprint as fast as you can until you return to your starting position. It's going to be a walk recovery back to the start where you started your sprint from. So same as what we did last week. So your walk recovery, it's just a gentle walk, enough so when you get back you feel like you're back to pretty much full recovery. You're going to complete 8 efforts. So if you do have a rower or a bike at home, if you're lucky to, you're going to be doing 8 by 30 seconds of work again for a 90-second rest. So your rest is going to be pretty long. So you can go pretty hard, especially if you've got a bike. It's got to almost feel a little bit like benchmark number 4, but just see how you go there. So the idea is that trying to get like consistent efforts overall and max sort of output of effort over each one of those. Hopefully it's not raining, hopefully you can get outside, it's not too cold. But yeah, we'll go through that as our part 2. Anyone who didn't do it last week, if you're unsure of how that makes sense, send me a message and we can always cover that if you need to. All right, thank you.